Well, hello there everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to my nursery. So today we're going to do a little bit of a changing video, and we're going to answer a couple of tags. Now who we have here, and we're on the changing table here, so who we have here, this is baby Abigail Johanna. This is the newest addition to my nursery. She is the Johanna Asleep sculpt. This is real-born Johanna Asleep from Bountiful Baby, and she was reborn by Debbie's Dreamy Dolls. And so, like I said, she's the newest member of the nursery, and I just got her the other day. And so, let me show you what we're going to go ahead and put her in for the day. Ooh, gotta kind of dust her off just a little bit. She's been sitting here for a few days. I've been waiting to do this video for a little bit, and it's the first chance I've actually had to do it. I actually took some time, oh gosh, today is Tuesday, June 9th, and I took some time, like, I don't know, like yesterday, I was going to film it yesterday, and I wasn't feeling it yesterday. I don't know, like, it was just one of those days. You ever have those days where you just kind of feel just blah, like you just, like, you know, nothing just wants to click, you know? And then before that, we've been, you know, busy doing some other stuff, and today I also took some time to just catch up on some reading I'm doing. So I got the house all to my lonesome except for the doggies, except for the Goldies, and so we're gonna make this video while things are kind of quiet. We've also got another home improvement thing going on. Now that I have this room done, we're making my husband's man cave, which we're calling the annex, and so he's in the middle of trying to get that primed and putting the paint on that. We got a bit of a challenge with that though, because we have a treadmill in there, and it's really heavy. And so what we decided to do is we have a nice little outbuilding that that we're gonna take it to, and we can get that set up and have that be our kind of like little exercise area, because these rooms are small, like these aren't really big rooms, and so the treadmill was taking up like half the room, and it was fine being where it was when it was, but you know, now that we're trying to get our own workspaces and stuff, we feel that, you know, taking the treadmill out there and having it set up out there is a better way. That way we can have the space inside here, and then we will have that out there where you know, where we can still use it, and it's kind of out of our hair inside the house. So yeah, that's kind of what we're up to, and so we're trying to figure out the best way to move that thing, because let me tell you, it is it's a beast. It is an absolute beast. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. And so I wanted to make this video while we had it quiet, because you know, we had like chainsaws chainsaws. Yeah. We had the saw going on because he was cutting the luan for the floor and then drilling it down, and so it's hard to make a video when there's noise going on next door. So anyway, long story. But anyway, we're going to answer a couple of tags, and I think they originally were on Suzanne's Babies channel, and then they were also answered by Susie Q's Happy Little Haven, and so I thought I would go ahead and answer them. So the first one is, what is your most embarrassing moment? And the second one is, tell us something about yourself that maybe your viewers don't know. So let me show you what we're going to change little Miss Abby into. We're going to go ahead and put this little outfit on her, and this is, I don't know what brand this is. I think that the information kind of wore off the back. This was actually an eBay find, and so I'm thinking it's a Carter's newborn size, and it's just a colorful little flowery little onesie, and we're going to take advantage of these full limbs and put this on her. And I don't know, I might put some socks on her, or we might just leave her barefooted. It's been just hot and more hot lately here, so I thought, you know, maybe we can just let her go barefooted and put this little onesie on her, and hopefully her cloth won't show. If it does, I'll have to come up with some shorts or something to put on her. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the first question. So the first question is, what is your most embarrassing moment? And let me tell you, as I was listening to, on Susie Q's channel, as I was listening to her talk about her most embarrassing moment, I was dying laughing. I mean, I kid you not, I was dying. And you'll just have to go to her channel and watch that video, and you'll understand why. And let me tell you, I also told it to my husband, and he about died laughing, and all I could think of now, her moment is, yeah, only a man would really, 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 really laugh at something like that, you know, but I mean, I was cracking up too. But my most embarrassing moment, oh my gosh, and let's go ahead and start taking this little sleeper off of this girl. So my most embarrassing moment, holy cow, well, I was a senior in high school, and we went to this women's retreat, and so some women from the church that I was going to at the time were going to this this women's retreat, and so there's like 8 of us that went, and of course when you get 8 women together, times get really crazy. So it was kind of it was one heck of a crazy weekend, let me tell you. And so I won't tell you all of the events or anything, because it's just, you know, too many to recount. But anyway, when we were on the way back home, we stopped in this one town where they were having a little festival going on, and so they had like all these little wooden shops and stuff going around there, and so we looked around, and now I'm visually impaired, so I was kind of hanging out with my friend Kathy, you know, who was also you know, who was part of our church, and so when you know, we hung out together, and so we, you know, we'd gone to, they had a little chocolate factory, and we got some chocolate turtles. They had like a oh my gosh, where else did we went quite a few places. But so anyway, we decided to split up, and so Kathy and I, you know, did our thing, and then, you know, they went by 2s and 3s and all that, you know. And so when we decided to meet back, we decided to meet back at this like little leather shop. And because the pastor's wife wanted to go ahead and get a little belt for her husband. Now, I might just leave this little white onesie on her because, well, I'll see how it looks with it, and then if I have to, I'll take it off of her, and we'll see. But the pastor's wife wanted to get her husband a belt for, you know, to go with one of his suits or whatever. So we stopped in there, and now the only, like, it was just one of those like little old-fashioned wooden buildings, and really the only light coming in through there, it was all natural light. The door was open, and then they had this like little window where there was some light coming through. And now when you don't have a sense of your eyesight very much, you know, tend to use your other senses and stuff. And pardon me while I itch my foot. The bottoms of my feet have really been itching. I have like eczema on my feet, and then the bottoms of my feet have gotten like some really dry, scaly stuff on there, and it's, oh man, it's itchy. Well, anyway, getting back to the story. So when you're, you know, when you lose, like, well, I mean, I've had this all my life. I had the visual impairment all my life. I was born with it. And so, but when you're lacking, like, you know, one of your senses, your other senses kind of take over, and you kind of tend to rely on them a little bit more. So I tend to rely on my sense of touch a lot, right? So anyway, Kathy and I, we kind of split up, you know, and we were just sort of looking around the shop. Well, sitting directly to the left of the leather belts was this leather jacket, right? And so I'm going, oh, this is a nice jacket, you know, and I love like leather jackets. I've never personally owned one, but that's kind of on my wish list, is like I want to own a leather jacket. So anyway, getting back to this, well, so anyway, like I said, you know, when you don't have your sense of eyesight very well, and I mean, I can see a little bit out of my right eye, but anyway, so I tend to rely on my sense of touch a lot. Well, sitting directly to the left of these leather belts was this leather jacket, and so I went up to this leather jacket, and I'm kind of feeling like on this leather jacket, right? You know, just kind of feeling on the arms, and just really appreciating how soft the leather was and everything, and going, wow, you know, this feels really nice. And so I yelled over to Kathy. I said, hey, Kathy, come over and take a look at this leather coat, man. This is cool. So anyway, she looks over my way, and she says, Sharon, there is a man in that coat. So I was feeling along this leather jacket, and unbeknownst to me, somebody was actually wearing it. It was not a display. So once the guy kind of figured out that you know, that I couldn't see very well, he kind of beat feet and left in a hurry. But anyway, so that was the live and end for me, because I never lived that down. We went to church the next day. The retreat lasted like Friday and Saturday, and then we were supposed to go back to church Sunday to report what we did. And so we went to church, and of course Kathy had to tell the whole story, so I didn't live that down for a long time after that. Oh my gosh. So it's one of those things where it was embarrassing, so embarrassing, and it was actually one of the few times in my life that I was actually speechless. But now it's one of these things where I can laugh at it. Yeah, it was really embarrassing at the time, and it's like, oh my goodness. But now I can sit and laugh about it, and I will willingly tell that story. So yep, it's kind of a unique embarrassing moment, but it was an embarrassing moment nonetheless. So yeah. So anyway, the next thing is tell us something that your viewers and subscribers may not know about you. So anyway, and I might have mentioned this before, I don't know, or I might have made comments about it on somebody else's video, but I was actually, and so some of you may not know this, but I was actually struck by a car as a pedestrian in 1997, 2 days before Thanksgiving. And so what happened was, I was walking home, I was doing some errands in town, and I was just, and I decided to just, do a few other things, just kind of hang out and then walk home, I did that quite a lot, I always walked uptown, and I had my first leader dog with me, and so anyway, we just kind of did our thing, and it was just another ordinary day. I was gonna just sort of, do some stuff and hang out, and then go back home. Well, on the way home, and it wasn't the fault of my dog or anything, it just happened really fast, but on the way home I was crossing I was crossing, it was the main street that we have in town, like I always do, like I've always done 1,001 times. Well, some guy was on his way home from work. He wasn't drunk or anything, but he just, kind of complacent, you drive home from work and you don't think anything of it. Well, he, I guess, turned the corner and didn't see me coming. And naturally, I didn't see him, and it happened so fast that, my dog really couldn't react to it, and so the car, it was a little Honda, and it hit me right in the knees. It hit me on the right side, right in the knees. It threw me up on the hood. I actually cracked the windshield with my head, and then I landed back down in the street. So it's a wonder that I am still even here, to be honest. I mean, it could have gone so much worse. I feel like this is a little big on her, but we're gonna have it on her anyway. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and just leave the other sleeper on her, because I think it seems like it'll fill it out a little bit easier too. So we'll just leave that white sleeper on her that was on her. But anyway, here she is. We'll bring her up close a little bit so you can see. But here she is in this cute little onesie. Oh, did I say white sleeper? I meant white onesie. She had a white onesie on underneath this, so which I think we'll just go ahead and leave on her, because this kind of like bags at the shoulder here. So we'll go ahead and just leave that on her, and I think it will make this outfit look a bit better. But I think she looks really cute in this, guys. What do you think? What do you think? So there she is, all changed, and I think we'll just let her go barefooted, and we won't put any socks on her, and we won't put any pants or anything on her. We'll just leave her in this. So anyway, the paramedics and stuff came to get me, carted me off to the hospital, and boy, I tell you, I hurt in places I never thought existed, let me tell you. And so the extent of the injuries was, my face was pretty beat up, like I had a lot of cuts and scrapes on it, so I, looked like I'd been through a war zone, and I got a concussion. And because I think I passed out for a little bit, I don't think I was out for very long, and because I remember them kind of scooping me up and taking me, in there, but I think I did pass out. I don't remember the impact. It actually blew me out of my shoes, but so yeah, the extent of the injuries was got the concussion, had some bruised ribs, and I didn't crack any ribs, go figure, but I had some pretty bruised ribs, and oh boy, it hurt to breathe, let me tell you. But the big thing was it tore the crap out of my knees, and I had major ligament damage in both knees, and eventually ended up having to have surgeries on them. And that's another story in itself. I'll have to tell you about my PT story and all the crap that went along with it. But I mean, I lived through it. Obviously, I'm still here. But I spent from, it was 2 days before Thanksgiving. I spent like from Tuesday to Saturday in the ICU. And then, no way, I went home on Saturday. So I was in the ICU from like Tuesday to Friday, I think. And then I spent like one night, I think, on the regular floor. And so, you know, they obviously don't keep you any longer than, you know, than they have to nowadays. But so anyway, like I said, it happened so fast, and I don't remember the impact. It blew me right out of my shoes. And oh boy, you talk about just, oh, I hurt in places I never thought existed. And you guys, like, you take for granted just being able to roll over in bed. Oh, I couldn't even do that for a long time. And so actually when I got home, I had to sleep on the couch for a while, but I was in knee braces for 6 weeks, and then they stuck me in PT, and then they figured out that I actually needed the surgeries after all. That's another story that I'll have to tell in another video because it's kind of a long one. But yeah, so I had to have some surgeries on my knees, and I got the battle scars to prove it. And because no arthroscopic stuff for me, they actually had to slice them open, and I can actually show them to you. I'll take the camera off the tripod and I'll show it to you guys because it's going to be a little hard to. I don't think I can get my leg up high enough on the table to show. So let me take the camera off the tripod and I will show you guys. All right, guys. So I had my left one done first in. Let's see, the accident happened in 97. I had my first one done in 1998. This was my left one. And so they had to slice it from like right above here, like right there. And it goes all the way down just a little bit past here, like right there. So from like here all the way up to here, they actually had to slice it. And so what they did was, the ligament that goes on your outside of your knee was all messed up, and so they had to actually take a tendon and reconstruct that ligament. And so I have like, oh gosh, what do I have in this knee? I have like two staples, I think, a washer, and something else I don't remember, but there's quite a bit of hardware in here. And then they actually did scope it at first to just kind of be able to look inside there, and you can kind of see the scar just a little bit right there, but nothing compared to this. And then about a year later in 99, I had my right knee done. They didn't want to do them at the same time, obviously, because it's a pretty long recovery, especially when they had to slice it. But this one here, now the car hit me like right on the, right here on the right knee here. And, but I had most of the damage to the left knee. I guess you get the ricochet effect, but the right knee, this ligament on the inside of my knee was the one that was messed up. So this was kind of a smaller one, but they still had to cut it open. So it goes from like right there to right like there, right there. So that's how long that is. And then my ACL, it wasn't torn, but it was pretty stretched. Your ACL is the one that's kind of like right in the middle. It was stretched, and so what they did was they nuked it, like they took some radiation or whatever, and they were able to shrink the ligament. And it's kind of funny because, like, now when you hurt your knees like that, they are just never ever the same again. Let's go ahead and take a look at the baby. We'll go ahead and look at something a little bit more. We'll go ahead and look at something a little bit more pleasant instead of my knees right now. But anyway, so when you hurt your knees, they are just never ever the same again. And even though it was my right knee that was hit, like that had the direct hit, it's my left one that gives me the most trouble. In fact, it's the one that's, I think, weaker of the two. And it was the one that actually had the most reconstruction on it, but it's the one that's a little bit weaker. Not that my right one doesn't give me fits, because it does too. But so it's, to this day, I have a heck of a time kneeling on my knees. I can't do it, or if I do, I can't do it for very long at all. One time I actually tried to mop the floor, my kitchen floor, on my hands and knees, and oh boy, my knees were crying, and I almost was. So I could never ever do that again. And they still like to hurt. Like, I can tell when it's gonna rain, they like to hurt, and they're just never the same again. But the bottom line is, I'm here. I'm a pretty happy person. I have a pretty good outlook on life, and yeah, so but anyway, my dog, you guys are probably wondering about my dog. Well, he was okay. He got a bruised bladder out of the whole thing. And so they my husband took him to the vet like after it happened, and he just got some antibiotics and stuff, and he was okay. He was even able to work again. Like he didn't really get traumatized or anything like that. So, thank goodness for that. But Charlie, his name was Charlie, and so he was definitely very much okay after that. And then he lived until he got a blood disorder in March, I think, of 1999, and which that was the thing that actually did him in. So he lived through a major accident and then succumbed to a freak blood disorder. So yeah, and yeah, so that's my tags, and I hope you guys kind of enjoyed hearing about that. I'm sure you probably got a pretty big laugh over my most embarrassing moment, and I can't say that I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about the accident or anything, because that certainly wasn't enjoyable at all. That's definitely not something to enjoy, but I hope you kind of found it interesting and so forth. But anyway, so those are the 2 tags, and if anybody else would want to do the tags, I would actually love to hear what your answers would be. If you're not a YouTuber, if you don't do content on your channel, definitely feel free to answer them in the comment section. Again, what's your most embarrassing moment, and tell us about something that we may not know. Or if you are a content creator, definitely feel free to do those tags. I would actually love to come over and watch it. And if you do the tags, let me know that you're doing them, and let me know that you have done them, and I will be glad to come over and check them out. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the changing of little Miss Abigail here. And yeah, so you guys have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, leave a comment, and don't forget to like this video and give it a big thumbs up. Leave a comment and tell me what you think. You all have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys in the next video. All right, bye everybody.